Hello, how are ya? Welcome to Peace Out, a daily devotions we started during the pandemic that is mostly just so we could all figure out together how to learn how to peace out because God gave us peace. And He didn't take it back because there was a pandemic. He didn't take it back because some tragedy happened in our lives or in the world. He didn't take it back because we got just crazy down here. He just said, I'm leaving it here. Kind of like a blank check, which is what we're going to talk about today, right? He's left it here and he said, here's my peace. I'm leaving it with you. So we got to figure out how to just let it reign in our hearts, right? That's the biggest thing is figuring it out, how to really enjoy the peace that he gave us and all the other blessings. It says we have so many heavenly blessings, spiritual blessings through Christ. Our salvation, we're righteous in Him. That one blows my mind because I know me. I know me better than you know me, right? And y'all probably know me pretty good. Some of y'all do, right? And so just to know that I'm righteous and God sees me as righteous because He sees me through the blood of Christ once I'm a believer, that just blows my mind because I know my mess ups. I know my shortcomings. I know the things I'm working on, right? And so does God. And yet He still says we're righteous because it's not our own righteousness. And it's not by having a checklist or a law that we have to go down. Did I do this? Did I pray today? Did I read my Bible today? Did I give somebody grace today? Did I help somebody find peace today? Did I share the gospel? There's not a checklist, although those are all good things to do. There's not a checklist. We don't have to follow a set of rules to be righteous. What would those rules look like anyway? Right? He made us righteous. So I'm just talking about these gifts that He gave us. But I want to look at another blank check He gave us today, and I'm like, man, this is so amazing. I was reading this morning. I was reading in Joshua, and I was just looking at some of that. I was looking back at. I was actually looking at how they crossed not the Red Sea, but the Jordan River, which Siri said. Don't say anything, Siri. That Jordan River is about 33 foot wide, 33 feet wide, and but it also says in Joshua on over here in chapter 3 that it was at flood stage. It was the harvest, and so it was flood stage. So it would have been wider than that. And it's not even really all that deep. However, the coolest part, Joshua told the priest, step in the water and stop. And they stepped into the water and they stopped, carrying the ark, which represented and carried in that day the presence of God. That would be us now, right? Because we carry the presence of God, which is what makes us righteous, not our own stuff, right? And it says, the water walled up on one side and just flowed off on the other. And that in itself is a miracle. But what blew my mind was that the seabed dried. If you've ever seen a seabed at the bottom of a pond, that's more what I'm familiar with in Oklahoma, right? Red dirt pond. But if you see the bottom, it's this thick, nasty mud, icky stuff, and it takes forever for it to dry, right? And if it had, I mean, that to me, that was, I mean, the miracle, of course, is God rolled back the water, right? He held this water back, let that all go downstream so they could go across the Jordan here to get to the other side to take care of everything that they got to take care of. They're fixing to go to Joshua, right? Or to Jericho. Joshua's going to take them to Jericho. They're going to defeat, they're heading on towards their promised land. But it was just, I just thought about what that picture would look like when the water rolled back and it just dried right before their eyes. Man, if I was a computer graphics artist, I would try to draw that. I would try to generate that on the computer somehow. We're just watching it just as the priests go across, it just dries in front of them, and then they all cross. But that's what I was reading about. Just this because I think some of the miracles. We just read the story sometimes. We don't get that full impact of what it would have been like to be there, right? And I just thought that was a cool story. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. And I'm halfway done. Sorry. What I want to talk about is in Joshua 1 and where God gave him a blank check. And here's what I mean by that. He said, I command you to be strong and courageous. That's a command we can follow most of the time. That's what we're learning to follow, right? Because we're learning to peace out no matter what comes. And when we peace out, we can be strong in God because we have His strength. We can be courageous because we know He's got our backs. He's drying the sea out before us. He's got the mountain all mapped out, the wilderness mapped out to get us through whatever we're going through. He's with us wherever we go, right? Which is the next thing He says. Be strong. I command you to be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid or discouraged, which are the opposites, right? Listen to this. Here's the because. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's the blank check I want to talk about. Wherever we go today, we do not leave God at home, and I don't leave him here in the recliner while I go to work if I work outside the home, right? I don't leave him here while I take Chris to the 34 project, right? I don't leave him here while I go buy groceries or while I go swimming with my grandkids or whatever I'm doing. I don't leave him here. He's with me wherever I go. It doesn't matter if I'm hanging out with my friends, if I'm running a 5K or walking a 5K because I'm getting too old to run, but walking a 5K or a half marathon, it doesn't matter. Wherever I go, he is with me. And that's kind of like a blank check. He's like, go wherever you need to. Do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here waiting when he didn't say, go do what you need to do and I'll be here when you get back. No, he said, I'm with you wherever you go. And so that made me think about another favorite scripture that we talk about a lot, and that's in Psalm 139. And because it says this, he says, you chart the path ahead of me and tell me where to stop and rest. Every moment you know where I am. We can't go anywhere to hide from God. Jonah wasn't even hidden from God in the belly of the whale, the filthy sinner, right? He deliberately disobeyed God, and yet God met him there. And we talked about God made that a meeting place for Jonah. God didn't say, well, you filthy backslider, I'm not going to come talk to you. You're on your own. You got yourself into this mess. No, he set up that meeting place because he knew Jonah's heart. He knew Jonah trusted him ultimately, even though he was scared. He was not strong and courageous. He was discouraged and afraid, right? And he went the other way, right? And yet God met him there. So it goes on, it says, you every moment you know where I am, you know what I'm going to say even before I say it, Lord. And if y'all know me very good, if you've watched me much at all, if you know me in my personal life, I talk a lot. Right? I mean, that's why making broadcasts is easy for me because it's that outlet that I don't get a lot, right? But he knows every word I'm going to say before I say it. God's busy. God's busy. Trust me. You know what I'm going to say. You both precede and follow me. He's got us covered. He's going before us to make the way, if that means making the riverbed dry, and he's coming behind us in case we leave something behind. He needs to clean up probably because sometimes we leave messes behind. We mess up situations or we feel this way, but he's got us covered. He goes before us and he's behind us. He's our shield, and he's a 360 shield, goes all the way around, and we could almost say we're living life in a bubble, right? He goes before us. He follows us. He places his hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, David says. Too great for me to know. I can't figure that out, right? I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. I go to heaven, you're there. If I go down to the place of the dead, you're there. David's saying here, just like God is telling Joshua, wherever you go, I'm there with you. He's there before we get there, and he's there after we leave, but he's also still with us wherever we're going in between. Wherever we turn our direction to go, wherever we focus and we start to walk this way, he's right there with us. He's there before us and he's after us because he is everywhere. And I've said this probably 100 times. He doesn't have the capacity to leave you. And even if he did, it wouldn't be today. But God doesn't have the capacity to leave you, to abandon you, to say, well, I don't know, I'll be here when you get back. No, he's with you all the way. Blank check. Anywhere you go, everywhere you go. Bad places, list any place you think he won't go, and he's there. He's already there before you get there, and he'll be there when you leave, and he'll be there with you while you're there because he's given us that blank check. I'm with you wherever you go. As a matter of fact, in this story, if you look at the next chapter, guess where the spies went? Into Jericho to the harlot's house. God didn't stay outside. Now there was no nothing bad going on here. He went to a place. They went to a place that was safe, a place where she was known to hide men, right, in the natural, and it wouldn't have been anything odd for men to go to her house, and so they weren't spotted as spies. They were hiding. It was a good plot, right? It worked too, but they went there not for the bad things, right? But God tells them, I'm with you wherever you go. And the next story finds them inside Jericho in the harlot's house. And God was there. But God was there with Rahab too. Why? Because she said, we already know your God's going to win. And I want to be on your side. I want to trust your God, right? And God didn't say, oh, you're a harlot. I can't talk to you, or you've done really bad things, right? No, he was with them right there. Wherever you go, you don't leave God behind. And wherever you go, God's not going to leave you behind. He will be with you. It's a blank check promise. Wherever you go, I'm there. I've already been there. I'm going to be here when you leave, and I'm still with you if you go somewhere else. It's a blank check. Go where you want to. God is with you, right? I'm not suggesting that you go to the harlot's house. Don't take that wrong. Right? Let's make this straight here, okay? But wherever you do go, you're not hidden from his sight. It doesn't matter if you go into church or to the bar. You're not hidden from his sight. He knows where you are. And he doesn't say, you can't come talk to me because you went there, or I'm leaving you because you went over there. He's like, I'm with you wherever you go. Whatever your circumstances, whatever the problems are, whatever good things are going on, I'm with you. That's our promise. We can trust it. That's why we can be strong and courageous, because our God is with us. Have a great day. Peace out. God's got you. He's with you. I'll see you tomorrow.